Hey guys, this is Lovin Meets with Dubai finance guru Wali Khan. Are you saving in Dubai? If the answer is no, this show is for you. It is time to refresh your finances, and Wali took us the 1, 2, 3s of how to make that happen. Take a listen. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Quick question for you today. Are you saving in Dubai? As summer comes to an end, it marks the end of an era. It is a time to refresh our finances and start all over again. It's the perfect time to do so. And to get the questions, to understand how, we're going to be joined by a Dubai finance guru, none other than Wali Khan. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to ask before we get into the show, is this too early in the morning for you or are you good?
No, it's fine. I'm actually working at, starting at 8, so it's fine for me. Perfectly fine for me. But I go to Ajman for my work. And now I'm coming to Dubai. I'm living in Sharjah. So it was huge traffic. I can see that.
Huge traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic is a big talk topic, but finances, saving,
Yes.
we want to go right into it because I know a lot of people have questions. I certainly do.
Yeah.
Quick question for you today. Where are people going wrong? People come here, we should be saving money, but a lot of people are not. In fact, we're getting into debt. What are like the key things that people are going wrong with their finances?
See, if you're coming to Dubai and thinking about tax-free income, the problem is that people are not thinking about that tax. If you're living in Canada, if you're living in India, if you're living in Pakistan, if you're living anywhere in the world, you will be taxed. And I have seen people making money and not saving it, not investing it. You must tax yourself because the country is not taxing you. So you must tax yourself. Sometimes you have the income slabs of 40% tax if you're living in Canada or in anywhere in the world. Here, you're not being taxed anything. People are saying you're getting indirect taxes, but there in other countries you are already having that kind of tax, like parking tax, like toll tax, and these things. So taxing yourself is very important if you're living in Dubai. So whatever your tax, whatever your salary slab is, just tax yourself. Think about it. If you're, let's say, earning 20,000 dirhams, and in Canada you will be taxed at, let's say, 20%. I'm just giving a ballpark number. 20%, you just tax yourself. And then on top of that, those people in Canada also saving and investing. So imagine for 20,000 dirhams, you have to tax yourself to invest. And then on top of that, those people are investing and saving more. And they're investing in assets which are increasing in value as well. Here, people are investing or maybe spending on things like cars, things like iPhones, and these things. So what I do normally is, let's say if I have to buy something which is entertaining for myself, let's say I'm splurging and I'm buying an iPhone, what I do, I normally invest the same amount in Apple shares as well. So I have to be reluctant to buy an Apple phone. Let's say if I'm buying for 5,000, 6,000 dirham phone, I have to see my finances that I have to spend 6,000 dirhams on Apple shares as well.
Okay, that's really interesting. But just to go back to tax yourself, because I think that's really interesting. Is there a sweet spot in terms of how much we should be taxing ourselves? So depending on your salary, what percent should I be saving?
So it depends on person to person, really. It is not one size fit all. But I would say anybody, I've seen people, let's say, having 50,000 dirham salary, and then for some reason they downgraded themselves because of the income they're getting. They laid off, and then they get another job for, let's say, for 25,000 dirhams, or let's say 15,000 dirhams. Even then they will live in that income level. So you can do anything. My target is to have, let's say, you don't have to rely on your 9-to-5 job. This is my first target. This should be your target. Let's say if you have this target and if you work towards it in 5 years, 10 years, because 5 years, 10 years looks a lot of time. But once you zoom out, it is not that much of time. So look for 5 years and then 10 years and think about if you can leave your job and then live financially free and in this country. This is the point. You don't go back to your country. Because if I go to my home country, I can live a lot less what I'm earning here. But if I want to stay in this country, and a lot of factors then come in, but if I can plan for 5 years or 10 years that I have to live in this country without having my job, I'm not saying I'm not gonna have some income. I'm just saying that I will just leave my 9-to-5 and then I could do something else.
Yeah.
What you're saying sounds like the ideal dream for so many of our listeners, right? Like you don't rely on a 9 to 5 job, a 9 to 6 job, and you just you have like double sources of income. But it's easier said than done. So how do you recommend people actually start saving up and start investing? Like where are the right places to invest, and how do you do that?
Okay, so first of all, before you go for investing, you have to save. And before saving, you have to be mindful of spending. What I have been checking on people, what they're doing is they are making the budget, but let's say they're having a line item of credit card. Don't put a line item of credit card. Do all the expense, whatever you're doing, in one Excel sheet or Google sheet. I do a Google sheet because Google sheet is very easy. You can access it from your iPhone. You can access it from your Android, on your Mac or any place. So do that first, and then see what you have been spending for last, let's say, 6 months. You will find a trend, and you will see where you can save, because people will always say that we don't have enough money to invest in. So first of all, you have to save and then invest. Save on emergency funds first. Normally people say, and in expat community, I would definitely ask people to save at least 6 months of your expenses. So if you have that amount of money saved with you, you are at least
so much money to save.
No, it's just I'm not saying you have to save your salary for, let's say, 6 months. You have to save your expenses for 6 months. This is the first thing. You cannot start investing before this amount you have in savings, and then you have so many things in Dubai. We are blessed with so many things, like you have stocks in the UAE, stocks in the US. You have crowd-funded properties in the UAE, and then people also invest back home. The main problem with the expat community is that they only see property as investment vehicle, which is not the case. You have so many things like national bonds as well. So many things that you can do while you are living in Dubai, especially because back home I'm from Pakistan. So back home in Pakistan, you don't get such kind of options to invest. Even I know people in India, they have taxes there. You have 0% tax, you have 0% capital gains tax. So if you buy, let's say, Apple share now, and if it gains double the price, you don't pay taxes to the government. So make the best use of it. You can still enjoy your life, and you can still make so much of money. And by the way, for you to say that to start with, I would say make an emergency fund, start saving, and then invest in so many things like US stocks, UAE stocks, crowd-funded properties. You don't have to go invest all your money in one property in Dubai.
So interesting, because I think so many people look towards the property market as the answer.
Yeah. It's not the only thing.
One thing you mentioned there, which I'm glad you brought up, was credit cards, and it's so tricky because we have to zoom through so many topics with you. But credit cards, we are a credit card nation, I believe. There's so many options, so many banks do them, and within the banks, there's, it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
What are the red flags, and do you believe credit cards actually work for the user?
I do believe that. I do believe in credit cards. I myself have many cards, but if you cannot handle that, don't keep any cards. I keep myself with 3 or 4 cards, but I have due diligence. I have my plans with them. Not everybody can do that. So if you cannot work with a credit card, just don't use them. But I can say, I've been living in the UAE for 15 years. I was just calculating last week. I made almost 70,000 dirhams just through the credit card in those 15 years, through the cashbacks, through spending on the right places, through the right credit cards. 70,000 dirhams. I never paid extra money to credit card. I never paid their, let's say, late payment or whatever charges, annual charges or whatever. I never do that, but I still make money, 70,000 dirhams or 80,000 dirhams. It's the amount that I have made through the credit card.
Wow, it doesn't hurt having a finance, finance brain. Yeah, just amazing.
It's so simple. They tell you how much is the cashback, and then they play with you because they will say, okay, 10%, but then 10% you will find that, okay, this is the minimum spend, this is the category you have to spend. So you have to see that. But if you cannot do this all maths, don't go for the credit cards.
Okay, fine. I get that. Now you are in debt. No, not you. Like the person is in debt, right?
Yeah.
How will they pay it off? What's the best way to pay it off?
So basically, there are 2 methods of paying this off. One is debt avalanche method, and there is another one. I forgot the name. But the point is that there is psychological way to pay, and there is a logical way to pay. So psychological way is to pay, let's say you have 5 credit cards or 5 loans or whatever it is. So you have 1,000 dirham of debt, let's say 5,000 dirhams of debt, the other one is 10,000 and so on and so forth. Go for, if you talk about psychological, go for 1,000 dirham first, so that you have the mindset, okay, I have got 5 debts, I have got rid of, let's say, one of them, now I have got 4, and then so on and so forth. But the logical way is to see what is the maximum percentage of interest you are getting on those 5 loans. So if, let's say, one loan is 1,000 dirham, which is having 2%, the other loan is having 5%, which is 5,000, the other loan is having, let's say 20,000 dirhams, and the interest rate at that is 10% for some reason, or something of credit card which is up to 50% even. So go for, target the 50% or let's say 40% or whatever the highest interest rate is, just target that and start paying it off. And you have to pay it off, because you cannot, especially in Dubai, you cannot go with the going on debt and debt all the time.
I just want to pick on that, because I think that the problem is that people do rack up these really high credit card bills and it becomes overwhelming. I've read stories of people, scared to share with their partner that they've got this debt. So how do you tell someone to claw themselves out of this type of debt? Do they discuss it with a financial advisor? Do they consolidate all their loans together? What's your kind of key points there?
It all depends on the person, because sometimes people are really organized, but if you are racking up debt, then you are not organized anyways. So going to a financial advisor is good, but many times financial advisors also sell you things. So I've seen people selling insurances, selling you different investment plans, which you might not need. A basic thing is, if you are starting to invest, basic thing is to invest in ETFs, let's say US ETF, which is just investing in US market or the global market. This ETF is basically exchange traded fund, which is while you're investing in it, you are basically investing in the stock markets overall. It's not like you are investing in Apple or anything like that. So you are investing in overall stock market. But if you want to really get out of the financial miseries, you have to be organized. As I said, expense tracking is the first step, because you have to, and I don't recommend any apps. Google Sheet or Excel Sheet is the best thing. I've been using this for 20 years. I've seen so many apps, but this Excel Sheet or Google Sheet is best. Google Sheet is much better because it gives you access from many places. Expense tracking, savings, if you have any debt, just pay it off. It all depends on how much you are debt and how severe your circumstances are. But don't go beyond your means.
So I have a question for the common man, not those who are more financially literate. When it comes to investing, right? You have trading and you have invest. So which one do you recommend to those who are not, very well versed with investing and trading and stocks and all those things? Like when it comes to Binance, you have eToro, you have Sarwa, you have all these apps. So how do you recommend people go into that, and what's the best way?
Yeah. So first of all, whenever you start investing, invest with a minimum value, very minimal value. Invest only big chunk into places like fixed income, like national bonds, which is a fixed income asset, which gives you guaranteed returns. Because if you're starting new, you can go wrong. I have lost my $11,000 in 2011 just because I was trading and I didn't know what to do. Because so many myths will come once you start trading. So you have to avoid trading, day-to-day trading, because if you are a professional or if you are normal working class person, you don't have time to see the trends and how the charts are going, and you never have that. Actually, nobody has the foresight to see where the stocks will go. So if somebody tells you that this stock will double the price in next 5 years, he's just not. I won't use the word, but he's not right. So don't go for trading. Start investing. The difference between investing and trading is that trading, you do it on day-to-day basis, or let's say week-to-week basis or day-to-day basis. I don't do that because I don't have time. You have to have enough time if you want to do trading. Investing is something, I have some money which I don't need for next 10 years. I just put that in, let's say, one stock or the ETF or anything like that, and then I let it grow. And I will, because there is a word called compounding, which is eighth wonder of the world as per Einstein as well. So what it does is it grows your wealth compounded over the period of time, I don't have the numbers right now, but if you see those videos and the charts, your mind will blow up. Compounding not only grows your wealth, it also is in your domain of your experience. So if you're starting this year for the investing, invest slowly and gradually, your experience will also compound. And then after 5 years, you would be much better investor than like 1 year, let's say 5 years back. So invest slowly, do not trade. There are many, like the names of the applications you mentioned, there are good applications in that, and there are some not so good applications in that, because the newcomer will have a lot of overwhelming experience in those apps. So only use those apps once you really got the understanding.
So which apps or which platforms do you recommend to those watching?
See, I don't want to say those are bad, but eToro or something like that is not for common man. Really, people will disagree with me, but these are not for common man. App like Sarva, or there are apps like Baraka and these kind of apps which do not trade and they do not offer you leverages. They are for a common man and they can just invest in those. Again, invest slowly and gradually. If you have a budget of 2,000 dirham per month for investing, invest 500 dirham to start with, and slowly and gradually increase that and keep on increasing for next let's say 6 months, 1 year, because this investing cycle comes as a sinusoidal wave. Nowadays it has gone down, the overall markets went down, and then there's a time in COVID when it went down as well. In 2008 it went down as well, it went again as well. So you have to maybe even after 3 years you cannot see one cycle, maybe after 5 years you won't see that cycle. Sometimes people in COVID, there was a generation who never saw the downturn. They were overwhelmed what they say, what they saw there. So you have to go through too many cycles to understand what it is. So for that matter, you have to keep on investing slowly and gradually.
And you just leave your money there and wait for a couple of years, give it a couple of years.
If you're investing in ETFs, you have to do that. But if you're investing in individual stocks, you have to keep on. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Apple right now is in a phenomenal company, right? But 20 years back, Nokia and BlackBerry were the same kind of companies like Apple is today. So I'm invested heavily in Apple, but I'm also watching what they're doing, because one wrong move and they can go down. I mean, this is they're not there forever. Similarly, Nokia and BlackBerry were not there forever. They went down and they went busted actually. So if you're investing in individual companies, you have to see, not daily, but of course 6 months, 1 year down the line, you have to see what is going on.
Wow. This is the tip of the iceberg, no doubt. And I know that a lot of people watching will probably have their own specific individual questions. So anyone today, if you'd like to reach Wali and ask him some questions, can they do that?
Yeah,
I've got questions, and how can they reach you?
I have got my Instagram. Probably you've got that on your stories, and my YouTube channel. Actually, I'm doing YouTube channel. I've got 2 channels. One is in English language, which I'm not doing too consistently. But in the Urdu channel, I've got like 50,000 subscribers already. So I do a lot of investing and savings tip there, and also I'm big on productivity. I think if you are a regular person, to start saving and investing, there is an important thing, which is to be productive in every walk of life. You have to be on time, you have to manage your time. I use a lot of apps like Notion, which helps me, and calendar, which helps me divide my time properly, because I'm doing a 9-to-5 job as well. So after 9 to 5, I have to do this content creation. So it takes a lot of time, but it has to be a lot of with a lot of organization as well.
True, absolutely. Guys, definitely take a look. I know I got some tips from the English YouTube channel. Guys, there you go. That is finance guru Wali Khan answering our questions about finance, and that is all we have time for on today's show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Thanks a lot.